Hey there, so I figured it would be easier for me to make a quick video than it would to do a bunch of emails. So right here we're in the library view, and you can get here by signing in to Peak and just clicking on library up here. Over here we have MTT or cache. I'm going to stick in MTT because it's a little bit more robust. If you see this E beside a stack depth on 100 big lines under tournaments, that means that we only have pre-flop data right now. So no post-flop thoughts will be available. But as you can see, on 40 big lines, there is no P, so we'll select that. And then I'm going to, up here you can see we have all of the actions. So I'm going to say that the button raises, and I just did that by clicking on raise. Small blind I'm going to ignore, because if we just move ahead and select a big blind action, I'm going to say big blind calls, it automatically skips the small blind. Here is where we can pick a flip, and now we have big blind's options. Obviously, big blind is going to check basically the entirety of their range. And now we can look at button. We can come down here and select an individual hand by clicking on it, and it will blow it up so we can see it. Or we can just hover and it will automatically show up on the bottom left. So that is how we can navigate. Let's just say that button's going to check back, and the turn is an ace, and then we can go on with the hand, and that would be how you would play through it. If you want to select just certain actions, you can click on them over here, and it will isolate them. So right here we have check and bet large, and now it's highlighting just those actions in the hands. Or we can deselect. Let's say that big blind is going to check, and now we can be like, alright, I only want to look at, 200% bet. And we can see all of the hands that want to do that. If you'll notice, we have these squares partially filled, like ace king off. Right here, it's partially filled. That's because it is using a weighted height system. If we click this button beside strategy, it will turn everything to full height. But this is nice because it shows you how often you actually get to this point in the hand, theoretically, with a hand like ace king off, or ace king suited, or ace jack suited. You can see how that works to show exactly how long you get, or how often you get there. That is the library. Up here we have the trainer. You can get to it just by clicking trainer. And then I'm going to say we want to do the full hand. We're going to do tournaments, 8 max, 1 big blind any, because those are the defaults and we haven't extended that yet. I'm going to say that we are the button and the villain is the big blind. And we're going to do 40 big blinds and RFI. And that just means that we're going to raise from the big blind, or from the button rather, and then the villain will decide. So we're going to fold this, we're going to fold this, we're going to fold this, we're going to raise this, and now the button, or the big blind rather, has 3 bet. So we're going to fold this, we're going to fold this, we're going to raise this, and now we get a random flop. As you can see, the big blind has checked to us. Now, down here, you can see we have a history of all the hands that we've played recently. So this 6-4, for example, we can actually come over here and click on the little graduation cap, and I'm going to I'm going to left click on it, and it's going to bring up that spot. See? Button opened, big line raised, and now we're deciding what we want to do. Or, and it opened it in a new tab, which is nice. Conversely, if you want to look at a range, I, I really don't recommend doing this because the point of the trainer is for you to learn by doing and not looking at the answer in real time. However, if you're just really, really curious, over here, there's a little arrow you can click, and this will show you what your range wants to do on this board. So you can see A6 off does a mix of everything. So I don't recommend doing that though, because basically that turns this into an open book study session where you're just looking at the range and you're not actually processing and internalizing the information. Now, the last thing that you can do is if you're wanting to train but you don't want to go through all the setup and everything, come up here and hit drills at the top, and we have a whole bunch of preset drills that you can run through. So we have 25 button versus a low jack open. So in all of these, the low jack is going to open, and we're going to be in the button on 25 big blinds, and we can just start playing through these hands. So, we're going to call it here most of the time. We're going to see this flop. It's a pretty easy call. We just make, basically the nuts here. We're going to continue to call. No reason to raise. And then we're going to bet all in. And there you go. Now, if you're curious what the player in the other position had, you can scroll down and go to the history and click on hand results, and it shows you villain had ace 8 suited, or off rather. So that is a great way to kind of just jump right into doing some training without all of the setup. Finally, drill of the day is a feature where a specific drill is uploaded every few days, and it has a video component alongside of it. So we're going to call here and defend. We're going to check our entire range, and now once we get to a decision point, you're not able to hear it on your end, but there's a video that I just paused that plays where Jonathan or one of the other coaches will go through and explain kind of the thought process. It's basically a kind of a feedback real-time system, very similar to the quiz section in the premium membership of poker coaching, where you're playing a hand quiz. But this is with a little bit more detail and a little bit more information. Hopefully this helps with answering some of your questions and helping you navigate. Obviously, if you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, as we are certainly here to help. But I hope that you have a little bit better understanding of how everything works and hopefully get the most value out of it. Have a great day.